I get asked all the time, what is the first IICRC certification should I take? Do I need an IICRC certification? What does each class talk about? All that kind of stuff. So I just want to do a quick rundown of the different classes we've got available. And if you can take them online, if you can take them in person, both. Some of them have to be taken in person and can't be taken online, although most can be taken online. Most of the time, people are getting into the industry, so they're either starting their own restoration business, or they're a plumber or a roofer or a handyman, or have a general contracting business and want to add water damage restoration and or other restoration services to their lineup, which is great. And so generally, we tell people to start with the WRT course, the Water Restoration Technician course, and because that is where a lot of the claims come through. They're water damage restoration clients that will be coming through, and so that's a really great place to start, is the Water Damage Restoration Technician class. And then there's additional classes you can take along the lines of that, which is the ASD class, or Applied Structural Drying, which is basically the same as a WRT class. We'll talk about it. There's a couple big differences though as well. One of them being in person, where WRT you can take online. And then there's a mold class called the AMRT class that goes along well with the WRT class. But that's my suggestion, is start with the water damage stuff. So WRT, ASD, and AMRT. And as you start adding other services, then take those classes. So if you want to add fire and smoke restoration services and odor control, take the FSRT and OCT class. If you want to get into trauma and crime scene cleanup, take the TCST class. If you want to get into carpet cleaning, take that class. We generally see two different people. The first is the person that we just talked about, where they start with the water damage track and go from there, and then add additional services and additional classes and certifications as their business grows. And we also have people that want to do full service out of the gate, and they take classes in everything and on all different topics and things like that. So that's a doable thing as well. Kind of depends on what you want to do, where you want to start, and grow from there. So, but let's jump in. So WRT, that is probably the most popular IICRC certification class that we offer. If you don't know the IICRC, it's the industry standards organization. And so we, LearnToRestore.com, are an IICRC approved school. So the IICRC doesn't teach any classes themselves. They have approved schools that teaches the class on their behalf. So we teach the class directly to the students. And then after we teach the course, the students will actually take the exam directly with the IICRC. If you're doing an online class, you just log into their exam portal. It's very easy to take the exam. And then after you pass the exam, you get an IICRC certification. So just to recap, Learn to Restore teaches the courses. The IICRC administers the exams. After you pass the exam, they will send you the certification directly from them. So when you get a WRT certification, it's an IICRC WRT certification, which is recognized worldwide. And obviously, some states will have additional contractor's license requirements. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to take Nevada for an example, is there's no states that I'm aware of, and there's different jurisdictions doing different things and new laws coming all the time. So check with where you live, with your state, with your county, your city, all that kind of stuff. But generally, what I mean by that is, there's no license in Nevada to do water damage restoration work, which means I can go into somebody's home that's flooded, and I can suck up water, and I can put air movers and put dehumidifiers and do all that kind of stuff. There is, in Nevada, there's what's called a wrecking license. And so if I want to take cabinets off the wall, or take out drywall and insulation, or remove carpet and pad, I have to get a wrecking license. In addition, after the dry out's done, if I want to put drywall back, put insulation back, or do any of the rebuilds, I think it's a B2 B2 contractor's license in Nevada. That might be a little bit off, but the gist of it is, to do the actual water damage restoration, there's not a specific contractor's license in Nevada, but a lot of the things that are done under water damage restoration fall within a category of another contractor's license. And so you don't need a contractor's license generally for water damage restoration, but all the things you do in water damage restoration will generally fall under another license classification with your state. If you have any questions on the IICRC classes, send us an email. We can totally help with that. If you've got questions on business licenses, or like state-specific contractor's license, things like that, call your state contractors board and say, this is what I want to do, and they'll be able to point you in the right direction. So if you want to get into water damage restoration, let them know that you want to start doing, obviously, water damage restoration, and part of that is going to be demolition, and some of it's going to be put back and rebuild and that kind of stuff, and let them know, and they can point you in the right direction and say, you'll need this contractor's license for the state of Nevada or Florida, wherever you are. So call your state contractors board and they'll point you in the right direction. Do some research because the IICRC certification is very different from a contractor's license as well. So the IICRC certifications will teach you the technical aspects of restoration, but they don't talk about like business. They don't talk about specific contractors, laws or certifications, anything like that. So IICRC is all the technical information that you need to actually do the restoration project. Okay, long sidetrack, but now we're going to start talking about the classes. So the WRT class, again, most popular, it stands for Water Restoration Technician, and it teaches you all the fundamentals of how to restore properties with water damage restoration. And you're going to talk about how to find the moisture in a building using different tools, meters, and IR cameras, and moisture sensors, and things like that. We're going to talk a lot about the types of equipment, so air movers, dehumidifiers, air scrubbers, and things like that, how much is needed, what each piece of equipment does, and then also psychrometry, which is the science of drying, to tie all those things together to see, is the building dry, is it drying, are we done, all that kind of stuff. A big, huge part of it is also classes of water damage, which in a nutshell is how much potential evaporation different materials have. Obviously, carpet pads going to have a lot easier evaporation than 2x4s that are really saturated with water. So we talk a lot about that, which is classes. And then we're going to also talk about categories of water damage, which is where the water came from, what did it go through, and essentially, this is not technical by any means, but how clean the water is. And so you can classify it as what needs to come out, what building materials need to come out, what types of PPE you need, and all that kind of stuff. And that's just scratching the surface. There's so much more in the WRT class. It's all based on the IICRC S500, which is the standard for professional water damage restoration. And again, this is where most people started to do the WRT course. You can do this course online or in person. The online one is not a self-paced, it is a live stream class. And what that means is you actually will join a live instructor in our Zoom classroom. And all of our instructors have like full studios with all the equipment, multiple cameras, great microphones, and all that kind of stuff. So you have the exact same presentation, the exact same instructor, the same manual as you would in person. Big difference is you're all spread out, students are all spread out throughout the country and even the world sometimes. But otherwise, you can take it online live stream, or you can take it in person. We have both options. We do the live stream class, super popular. And so we actually do a WRT live stream class nearly every week. And in-person classes like once a quarter or so. But registering super easy. If you go to our website, learntorestore.com, you can grab all this information and then you can click register for as well. Super easy to do. I'm going to jump down a little bit to the ASD class. So we talked about ASD a little bit earlier. ASD stands for Applied Structural Drawing, and this class is very similar to the WRT class, a lot of overlapping information. The big difference is ASD talks a little bit more about the science side of drawing. There's a couple more things you go into depth on. And the biggest change is it's an applied class or it's a hands-on class. And the ASD class is actually really cool. We have a full flood house, and what that means is it's a mock house, and we dump hundreds of gallons of water through it, and you will actually do a physical water damage restoration job. So we'll extract water, we'll set equipment, we'll check psychrometric conditions, we'll figure out what class and category it is. We'll do the documentation with the moisture meters and locate moisture with the moisture meters and all that kind of stuff, make sure everything's dry, and do an actual water damage restoration job during this class. So super cool. Obviously, this one is only in person because we can't do the hands-on stuff live stream. So ASD is only available in person, and it's important to note that the WRT class is actually a prerequisite for the ASD class. So you can do WRT online and then come do ASD with us in person. The other option, and this is one of the only ones they let you combine, is we also do a week-long course, a combined course, which is ASD and so you can knock out both certifications at once. So if you do them separately, you got to do WRT first. If you do them together, you can do WRT ASD the same week. Note that if you do the WRT ASD combo class, you do have to take 2 exams that week. And so it's a beast of a week. There's a lot of information, but it's a really great class and a lot of learning. So and stuff there. We're going to then jump back up to AMRT, or Applied Microbial Remediation Technician. This class is all about mold and sewage remediation. Again, this class is an applied class because we will don and doff PPE, we build containments, we set up equipment with the containments to show air filtration devices or air scrubbers or negative air machines, putting containments under negative pressure, all that kind of stuff we're going to talk about in class. So it has to be done in person, can't do it online. And then the WRT class is also a prerequisite for this AMRT class. Unlike ASD WRT combo, you got to do it before you do AMRT. It's not a combo class. It's not available. And that's an IICRC rule, not a learn to restore rule. So do WRT first, then come do AMRT with us in person. And we talk about all different things of safety, PPE and equipment that you need to do remediation jobs, microbiology, how to build containments, and all that kind of stuff to get you where you need to go. So that's kind of the water damage / mold remediation track is WRT, ASD, and AMRT. Great classes, teach similar things. They build upon each other, which is why WRT is a prerequisite for both ASD and AMRT. Both really, really great classes. Next up, I would think, I haven't looked at the actual numbers on it, but I think the next, after WRT, the next most popular class is called the FSRT, or Fire and Smoke Restoration Technician class. And this one is all about how to restore buildings that have caught on fire and have fire and smoke damage. And all that. And so this one can be taken online, live stream as well, or it can also be taken in person. Really, really great. Lots of information. Fire cleanup and smoke cleanup is its own beast. And so if you're getting into that work, you definitely want to take an FSRT class because there's a lot of technical information in this class. Very similar to the FSRT class is the OCT, or Odor Control Technician. Obviously with fire and smoke, a lot of times you get odor as well in the property that you need to take care of. And so a lot of times what we do is we do the FSRT and OCT course as a combo. So neither of them is a prerequisite for the other. You can take them individually as you want. If you want to take FSRT right now, you don't have to take OCT, and vice versa. But because there is so much overlapping information, they go so well together, we do an FSRT OCT combo. And so FSRT is usually 2 days, OCT is a 1-day class. And so we'll do FSRT on like a Wednesday, Thursday, and OCT on a Friday. So you can take both of those courses in 1 week, get them knocked out. Obviously, they each have their own exam, and so you got to take that into mind, but really, really great classes. There's been a lot of interest in trauma and crime scene cleanup. That's called the TCST class, and that's exactly what it stands for, is it's biohazard cleanup. Obviously, how to stay safe, how to keep yourself and others safe on the project, and then obviously how to do the cleanup processes, what kind of chemicals you need, what kind of PPE you need, how to restore things, and all that kind of stuff. So this is an interesting class. Some people really want to get into it, which is great. Some people totally stay away from the biohazard cleanup, which is totally fine. Again, this class is available online as a live stream class, or you can take it in person. And side note, any class that you can take online is going to be a live stream class, and so it has to be done with a live instructor in our Zoom classroom, but they can also be done in person. So anything that I say is an online class, I'm meaning live stream, and it can also be done in person. That being said, if it, again, AMRT and ASD have to be done in person, can't be done vice versa online. So, all right, next up, we have the Contents Processing Technician course. This course is a couple years old, and this is a great course. This is all about how to do proper packouts and clean contents and different types of contents and materials, and basically how to clean different things and not make it worse and return it back to pre-loss condition. When you are dealing with water losses or fire losses or mold or sewage or whatever, a lot of times there's going to be contents involved. And by contents, I mean like the desk that I'm on, or bookshelves full of books, and just like contents, things that are in people's homes or businesses. And a lot of times, like, you might go to a water job and you might be in a basement with no furniture. You might be in a family room where you need to move. It's category 1, which is basically the lowest level of contamination of water. And so you can move couches to the other side of the room and do the dry out, and you're fine. Other times you're going to have to do what we call a pack out, which is you're going to have to take all the contents in a property and put them in your truck, take them to your warehouse, clean them, put them in vaults, and store them for a month until the rebuild's done, bring them back in and stuff like that. So the CPT course talks all about that, about how to properly take contents, pack them out, how to clean them, and take care of things, because contents are, again, it's its own whole system and process and beast that is separate from everything else. So a lot of times contents do have crossovers and other types of jobs, and sometimes it's way more involved. Sometimes it's just moving a couch. So this is a great course. A lot of restoration companies are getting into contents processing because, again, it's on a lot of jobs. And there's also a lot of contents companies that just do contents. They don't do water damage restoration or fire damage restoration. All they do is contents. And so if you're a restoration contractor that doesn't do contents restoration, you can call one of these contents companies, have them come and do all the contents for you without having to worry that they're then going to compete with you later on to get water damage restoration jobs and things like that. So something to at least understand is the contents side of restoration, whether you do that in-house or send it out to a third party. But it is a big factor in a lot of jobs. Next, we've got the HST class, Health and Safety Technician. This class is very similar to the OSHA 10-hour outreach course, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It teaches you how to stay safe on restoration projects, hazard communication, the hierarchy of controls, health and safety procedures for all different types of restoration projects, like OSHA standards and things like that. So really great course to help keep you and your team safe, which we all want. That safety is the number one priority. All right. Next, we're going to kind of get into the cleaning side of the IICRC classes. We have CCT, which is the Carpet Cleaning Technician. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It teaches you how to clean carpets properly, how to understand what types of carpet and fabric you're cleaning, what chemicals you need to use, and all that kind of fun stuff. Next up, we have the UFT, which is the Upholstery and Fabric Cleaning Technician. This goes very much in sync with the Carpet Cleaning Technician. Obviously, different objectives, but the same thing as you're learning how to clean upholstery, identify the fabrics that you're cleaning, and know the chemistry and the chemicals and all that kind of stuff. Because if you don't know that when you're cleaning upholstery or carpet, you can actually make things worse. It's not as easy as just getting a carpet wand and going to town. So it teaches the technical aspects of cleaning fabric and upholstery. CRT, which is the Color Repair Technician, is a really cool class. I'm sure you've seen people on like Instagram Reels or TikTok where there's like a stain on the carpet and they're basically dyeing it back to the original colors and making it look like it's not there. That's what the CRT class teaches, is how to return carpet that has some damage back to the pre-damage condition. It's actually a really cool class, and you'll learn a lot. So definitely take a look at that class. We also have the Carpet Repair and Reinstallation Technician. Again, the names of the classes basically tell you what it is. It's going to teach the different types of construction of carpets and how to disengage it and reinstall it, and different techniques that you need to know to make your job easier when you do this. So again, a really cool class to fix carpet, because a lot of times people think there's a stain or there's damage to a carpet and the whole thing has to be replaced, and that's actually not the case. You can fix it in a lot of situations. So really, really cool. Commercial Carpet Maintenance Technician, or CCMT. This course is very similar to the Carpet Cleaning Technician course, except the big difference is this one is based on commercial carpets. So residential carpets and commercial carpets obviously have a different structure of how they are built, and so this one focuses specifically on commercial carpet cleaning and maintenance and all that kind of stuff. Which is a little bit different than CCT, but all in the same vein of cleaning and carpet cleaning and maintenance and all that kind of stuff that you need to know. The last one, this one is a great class. This one falls into our water damage track. I didn't mention it earlier because it's a little bit different. So all of the classes I've talked about so far, if you take the class with LearnToRestore.com, afterwards you can take the exam, and after you pass the exam, you will be issued an IICRC certification for that specific class. The ASPWR, or Apprentice Skills in Water Damage Restoration, is a little bit different. So this one is a 4-hour class. We can do it online, or you can do it in person. After you take the course, this short course with us, you take a short exam with the IICRC, and after you pass that exam, you get a certificate of training, I believe is what it's called. And so it's not an IICRC certification, it's just a certificate of training. Say, I took this introductory course, I passed it, and here's a certificate of training. So very different than an actual IICRC certification. That being said, this is a great class that covers basically all of the basic and introductory information in the WRT class and a 4-hour condensed version. So obviously you're not going to go into as much detail and you're not going to get all the technical stuff. But this is a really great class if you are a admin person in the office, if you're in marketing, if you are in accounting, basically anybody that's involved with a restoration company or an adjuster or property maintenance. We have a ton of property managers come through this course that needs to know the basic information of water damage, but don't need all the technical information and don't need the certification. And a great use case for this class is an admin person who also answers the phone in your office, where they need to have enough information where they can answer the phone and have an intelligible conversation with a potential client and really get that lead warmed up until they can pass it off to an estimator or a salesperson or however it works in your office. And so they have the basics as well. And it's just great for anybody in this industry or similar industries to have a baseline of the technical stuff, even if that's not what they do every day. So there's a couple other IICRC courses that are in different veins, inspection and things like that. But this is a gist of what you're going to be looking for. And so again, you can take one course, you can take all of the courses. If you go to learntorestore.com, you can see this exact page. If you just click IICRC classes, it's that easy. We also have bundles that you can take a look at. And so we have a couple different bundles. We have a starter bundle, which I believe is the WRT course, the FE course, and the OCT course. If you register for it, you save 10% on all of them. So it's a pretty good deal. And then same thing with the business bundle. It is SRT, OCT, and then you got the trauma and the carpet cleaning, and then the subrogation one, which is a self-paced course. I believe that's a 10% discount as well. So it kind of depends if you want to start and jump in and get a bunch of courses, if you want to start with one course and work your way up. So just more information about the bundles there and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, head over to learntorestore.com. You can poke around, see all the different classes. And this dishes a little bit. We've got subrogation and CEs and tons of different types of courses and restoration flicks. And that'll be addressed in different videos. So if you've got any questions on any of these classes, a lot of it's here on the website, or send us an email, hello@learntorestore.com, and we'll help you find the right courses you need and get going. That's going to wrap us up for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a course soon.